Hi, Paula Poundstone.
Hey, Stephanie Miller.
Hi.
Stephanie
Hi.
had gone up to get a cup of some sort of herbal tea or something.
Yes.
And she was, grinding the leaves up there. You can hear it.
Uh-huh.
And and I said to the other guys, I go, she's going to come back in time, isn't she? And they said sometimes. And I was so hoping that you didn't, so I could say Paula Poundstone in for Stephanie Miller. I was that close.
Nobody
that
listens
close.
to Paula Poundstone.
Nobody
That's the
listens
name
to
of your podcast.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
a great name for a podcast.
Isn't it? It's just accepting reality,
And
right?
listen, I've already extolled your virtues as a liberal helper because you and Jen Kirkman moved my giant 1,000-pound fire pit that just arrived right before my party Saturday. You, the three of us, we can. It says right on the box. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a picture so we can post it. It says use forklift.
Yeah.
And we actually moved that, the three of us, into my yard after the party.
Yeah, but we did it while making this noise. And
Yes,
so we fooled the box into
we
believing
did, to
that-
thinking we were a forklift.
Do, do,
Yeah.
do, do.
And that was sans alcohol. None of us were drinking. We actually thought that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, and Angela Shelton of Frangela actually tried to bring it up the stairs into the house sans alcohol by herself.
That's amazing, because that thing was damn heavy. And I, by the way, I have thought of myself as physically strong, but I offered probably the two of you guys could have done it without me. I believe I was an obstacle.
No,
too.
you
I was
were
on the wrong team.
No. I'm going to say it's because of your, what do you call them? Your nighttime improvements?
My-
like
I
you're a
didn't-
1950s housewife? Like, I don't know, you're trying to get your figure back for your husband? Why do you call them your nighttime improvements?
I don't know, because exercise just sounds so awful. So it's my morning improvements and my nighttime improvements. I've been exercising twice a day, and I can tell you for how long 22 weeks.
Okay, and how many
No,
are you up
20
to? Because you report
22
every
weeks.
day on Twitter what number you're up to. You're
I
like at
do,
31.
because I started. It's morphed into sort of more than it started out to be. But I started out just doing 10 push-ups on my knees twice a day.
Yeah, I do those. I do girl push-ups.
Yeah, I did. Well, and I felt inadequate as a result. So my goal, in some ways, or part of my goal, was to do real push-ups. But I started out doing 10, and I decided, well, I'll add on one a week, which is how I happen to know it's 21 weeks.
Okay.
So I've, So last night I did 32 of everything that I do, and a 3-minute plank, and 14 real push-ups.
Last night, if I recall, it was in the midst of a cat fight, like an actual
Yes,
cat
there was
fight.
a cat. During my
Disrupted
plank,
your nighttime
I did have to
improvements.
stop during the plank to get up.
Now,
Because it
does that
wasn't
count?
enough to yell. I had to get up. It can count for last night. It can count.
Okay.
Because
Normally,
I would
if your
start
plank
again.
is interrupted by a pussy riot, is there a...
Well, it hasn't happened
Yeah.
before. But the other thing is, I also did. My daughter came over yesterday. We did a workout video together. So I feel like I already was in the positive column in terms of,
Thank you for sending me the video of you narrating your new kitten.
Oh,
Something, I don't know, it's playing with its own paws. Like you bought all these cat toys and it doesn't play with anything but its own.
Cats don't play with cat toys.
Yeah.
they don't need. The other day she was playing with the dog's tail, which one of the cats was playing with the dog's tail, which delighted me.
Yeah.
The dog, not so much.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got 2 new kittens.
I know they were only available to comedy legends. You and Lily Tomlin.
Lily opted not.
Jody Hamilton got them for you and Lily. There's some sort of pipeline for only comedy legend kittens.
Yeah. No, there's no such qualification. But Lily opted not to take.
Yeah.
She said that Jane, her wife, did not like their markings.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
I said,
so-
what was wrong with the kitten? She's like, we didn't like their markings. It's like, wow, what a pussy elitist.
Yeah. So one of them is just plain black. So I wrote one of mine.
Oh,
is
so Lily
just a
Tomlin's
black.
racist is what you're saying.
So I wrote to her
Black cats
last
matter.
night, and I said, "Tell Jane that I was up all night making my cat plaid." So she'll like that. She'll like that a lot.
Oh, that and hello, the $1 zillion idea you and I gave her conversation around the dinner table fell to Ellen Page transitioning to be Elliot Page. And I said, Lily, it's not too late to become a man if you really want to. And you said you'll get at least one more season, Grace. And I said Gracie and Frank, and you said you'll get at least one more season. Together, you and I just blew up the next phase of Lily Tomlin's amazing career.
Yeah. And there's endless phases.
Right.
Endless phases. You know why?
Defies time and space.
It's not because she reinvents herself. It's not that. It's because there is and she's small. She's not a large person.
No, she's a tiny little thing.
There's so much packed into that teeny little body that person can do that there's not, she needs 2 lifetimes, I think, to
I forgot
do
to
everything
tell you
she
guys,
can do.
when I saw you guys in the kitchen talking, I had a flashback. I'm going to say 1980-something, circa Catch a Rising Star, Chicago. I went to see you, and I remember there was this like buzz in the crowd, and people were like, Lily Tomlin's here. And sure enough, Lily sat like right near me. She was laughing her ass off at you the whole
Really?
show. Yes.
I didn't know
Lily was
that.
in the audience.
No, I think it was somebody else. Probably wasn't me.
No, it was you.
Probably wasn't me.
No, it
a lot
was
of
you.
people. A lot of people get me confused. Were they
don't.
singing? Was the person singing?
No, I see.
That was
you
Neil Diamond.
No,
that was Neil
no,
Diamond.
it was not.
Lily thinks he is so funny.
Yeah, because you're confused with Neil Diamond all the time.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And then he also has an impersonator.
You're a kidder. That's why I couldn't by text, because I just said I wanted to make sure it was obviously a fully vaxxed outdoor party. And so I asked, are you vaxxed? And you're like, am I going to be the one to kill Lily? And I thought, oh, is this some weird anti-vaxxer joke? And then you were like, no, I meant, would I be the one to kill Lily? I love her. I couldn't love her more if I raised her in a stump in the forest.
That's true.
So I was like, okay, so the answer is yes, you are vaccinated. But
Yeah,
it took me...
I brought my vax.
Oh, she actually brought her card.
I brought my card. It was in my pocket, in my
She was so
breast
scared of me
pocket.
by the time she got here that she brought her card.
Well, also the security at the front door,
Yeah.
which there was a HIPAA violation at her front door. I had a HIPAA violation right at the front door. I never felt so
And then
abused.
I see you pranked Elaine Boozler on Twitter because she heard about the Comedy Girl party. Well, she's in New York, isn't
Right.
she?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but she said, I'm still sitting here waiting. Am I at the wrong restaurant? And you said, we're in the back. Do you see us?
Yeah.
Don't taunt Elaine Boozler
She
on
sent
Twitter.
over hors d'oeuvres. She said. Later
okay.
she wrote, I sent over hors d'oeuvres. I said, we're already on the dessert menu. Speaking of which, thank you for the watermelon and the
Oh, I sent you home
sushi.
with about 20 pounds of watermelon.
You did. I'll tell you something. Normally, if somebody said, well, do you want anything? I would say no. But
I gave it to you because it would have been racist if I gave it to Frangela. So
you
I
can't.
Right?
Oh, you can't.
I gave you and Jen Kirkman like 20 pounds of watermelon.
Well, you had to. You know what? I give the occasional ping pong party, and
hello.
the coping with the food at the end of the night
Yes.
is the worst part of the whole.
And you
experience.
took leftover sushi, which is brave of you.
I went through your trash. I mean, I
Okay.
took
All right. Well.
a lot of
And
stuff.
you commented on Twitter. You said one of Stephanie's friends showed up in an eye patch. I quickly cut my leg off and put a bird on my shoulder. God, I want to fit in.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
true.
Jen Kirkman, who then we made her take her patch off because
She wore an eye patch because she thought
Be less-
that it was somehow
would be less conspicuous.
Yeah, she said because I didn't want anybody to notice my black eye.
Oh,
And by the way, the
Because
black eye is so
Subtle.
subtle, right?
Well,
exactly.
she fell. Okay, we already told the story.
Right.
She was doing it by another pool last week and fell into the pool and
She's
grabbed
doing
an
a pool
umbrella
tour.
stand because she thought it would steady her, and the umbrella stand hit her in the eye.
Yeah.
But she also did that sans alcohol. So I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
People post-COVID appear to be sober, but
well,
really spazzy, just not used to it. Like you said, you've always been socially awkward. It's not COVID.
No, I wish I could. I wish I could say, it's been all this time at home. The truth is, I was always alone a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not really that desirable. That's
That's not true,
that's
Paula
a
Poundstone.
big part of the issue.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
We're going to have your self-esteem so high by the time you leave here. You're going to
Oh,
rename
my
your
gosh.
podcast Everyone Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Oh my gosh! And the crushing blow.
Or
Where
Paula
did you-
Poundstone, So Desirable.
Are you from Los Angeles or where are you
No,
from?
Buffalo, New York.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. When you came to LA,
Uh-huh.
did you understand the difference between real love and Hollywood love?
Obviously not.
Because
I'm still
no,
single.
No, I don't mean that way. I mean where you do something and they go, "We love it. We love it."
Yes.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
love you. Oh, we
Right.
love you.
Yes,
And
like
then,
when they gave me my late night TV show, they're like, "We love you. We love
Exactly.
your radio show," and they're like, "Now don't do any of that.
Yeah,
just
that's
read what's on the cue cards now."
that's exactly what I'm talking about. And when I came down here, I was 23, I did not know the difference between Hollywood
And
love
you came from
and real love.
Mars?
Well, I was in San Francisco until I got here, but I'm from Massachusetts. Born in Alabama, raised in Massachusetts.
Robin Williams, your mentor. I know the story now. I remember.
It's
okay,
a beautiful
go
story.
ahead. It is.
But no one prepared me for the Hollywood love thing.
Yeah.
And so when people said, we love you, like an idiot, I have to say, I was surprised because no one really had ever felt that way before. And so I thought, well, and then I thought, my God, I found my place where I belong. This
Everyone
is
loves me.
fantastic. No one ever, this is amazing. And I thought, well, gee, I didn't think I was all that good. So I thought it was weird in a way. Like I saw, I saw an imperfection in the love.
Yes.
But it's such an appealing idea.
Well, it didn't help your self-esteem. It just made you question their judgment.
No, I think it did help my self-esteem for a couple of weeks. And then, see, in Los Angeles, or in this business, your own opinion about things is easily. Many years ago, I auditioned for a movie. And by the way, let me just preface this with, I've literally never gotten anything through auditioning. Literally never.
Me neither.
I could audition for the Paula Poundstone story, and they say, you know what?
When they gave me my own show. I'm like, do I have to audition? They're like, no, it's the Stephanie Miller show. It's like, okay, well, then I might get it.
Right. And then it's like, no, right. But you know what? We have somebody else in. No, Darren Stevens is always hovering over me no matter what I do. But anyway, so I auditioned for this movie, and by God, I got what they call a callback.
Right.
Which has also never happened. And it was so exciting. But when I first read the script, I'm like, well, this is just awful. It's horrible. It's not good. I don't like it. But it's good experience to go audition. So I go audition and they like me. Well, now what do you do, right? So I'm like, well, let me read it again. And I read it again. I think it's not that bad. I can see where, right?
No.
Like the more they liked me, I think I went in again, and I'm like, that's a pretty good script. I'm liking that. I can see where you can really do something with that. That's And then finally, of course, I get rejected, and I'm like, that script was so awful. It's Hollywood
So
love.
you've become as fickle as Hollywood.
Hollywood
They've
love.
made you.
You got to
yeah,
be careful with
I understand.
Hollywood love.
Listen, you're still a helper. You helped me drag my 1,000-pound fire pit. You gave Lily a good idea for another season of Gracie and Frank. And you just tweeted, "Dear Senator Schumer, I'd be happy to talk to Joe Manchin. My father's side of the family were West Virginians. They were Republicans and they were very smart. They knew what democracy was. Please pass H.R. 1." So I would like to volunteer you to go talk to Joe Manchin.
I would like to talk to Joe Manchin. However, I have to say that I just this morning sort of processed, I do think I heard this before, but I didn't get it exactly, that they don't have a provision in H.R. 1 for this thing where the state legislature or whoever
Can
the hell
just
it is
overturn it.
can overturn
Yeah.
the will of the people.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
well,
seems important.
That's a bit of an oversight because that's really, look at, would I rather, the voting booth, the boxes, the drop boxes be available everywhere, souls to the polls time be honored? Yes.
Right.
All those things, yes. But you know what? People will get there.
Yeah.
People will get there, and the more you try to take it away from them, the more they're going to get there at this point, because, most people go, uh-oh.
Right.
But if it doesn't matter because they're going to overturn it because of the Heritage Foundation, then we got trouble.
All right, Joe Manchin. I think you heard fine American Paula Poundstone. She speaks West Virginian Republican, which you essentially are. And listen, even if you don't, she's wildly entertaining. No charge. There's no charge, no drink minimum. We will send Paula Poundstone to talk to you.
But it doesn't take away the part where he says, well, it's because we want to bring together America. You know what? McConnell already said that he's going to spend, 100% of his time trying to make sure that nothing Joe Biden wants passes. Well,
and I don't do math, but that's all of this.
Yeah, I think that's...
All right.
Yeah.
Here's some West Virginian for you, Joe Manchin.
The idea that maybe you would vote to kill the filibuster, wouldn't that give Republicans an incentive to actually negotiate? Because old Joe Manchin's out there, and who knows what he's going to do. By taking it off the table, haven't you empowered Republicans to be obstructionists?
I don't think so, because we have 7 brave Republicans that continue to vote for what they know is right and the facts as they see them, not worrying about the political consequences.
Right, except he knows that we need 10 for it to. He's not good at math.
No,
You'll
he's
start.
not
You'll
good
start
at
with
math.
math when you
Yeah.
do your home tutoring. You probably didn't doing that in COVID. Home tutoring? No.
Oh,
Or are your
no,
kids
no,
old
my,
enough
my
now? They're
kids
not.
are all
okay.
young adults. They still
Okay.
need home tutoring, but they're not there. So
One more Joe Manchin.
falls on deaf
I believe
ears.
there's a lot more of my Republican colleagues and friends that feel the same way. I'm just hoping they are able to rise to the occasion to defend our country and support our country and make sure that we have a democracy for this republic of all the people. I'm just very hopeful that I see good
Really?
signs. We're
Okay.
doing,
Well-
Chris, more things than ever before. Give us some time.
Okay.
I know everyone's putting deadlines.
Well,
Got to be
wait a-
done by this, and this.
But
Well, I hope my aunt has a, and then she could be my uncle. But okay. All right, Joe Manchin.